Alright, and this is my actual Ghostrick build. So, like I said, in terms of the actual monster lineup, it's all the same. 3 Stein, 1 Skeleton, the alternative win condition for this deck, 2 Jiangshi. Um, like I said in my previous video, I probably will put him at 3 and take Stein to 2. I haven't decided yet. Uh, 2 Witch, 1 Doll, 3 Frost, 1 Spectre, or 3 Spectre, 1, or 2 Mary. I don't know why I keep saying 1. It's because they're level 1s and I keep thinking about Doll Hand because that's the point of this deck. Um, 2 Bait Doll. That's the difference. That's one of the first differences between this and my Troll Tricks build. Um, I probably will take it down to 1 in favor. Okay, I know what I'll switch out. I'll take this down to 1 in favor of putting in another Swords, and I'll take out Terraforming for another Swords. But at the moment, I only have 1 Swords of Concealing Light, just because I cannot find it anywhere, like, locally, which is very weird because it's a common card. Like, you'd think that everybody would have it, but no, because it's a common, nobody thinks to put it in their trade binders or anything, or even bring it. Um, so I've been having trouble finding more copies of that. 2 Terraforming. Um, it like I don't like playing at 2 because it's dead if you have 2. Um, 3 MST. I main decking the 3 MSTs is really good. 1 Swords just because I don't have more copies. 2 Ground Collapse instead of 3. Um, it's still good at 2, but I don't draw into it enough to make use of it as much as I do in my Troll Tricks build. So I would like to find a third copy, but this is a very old card, and I think it's only a common. I don't know if it has a reprint or not. Um, but yeah, it's this is even harder to find than Swords of Concealing Light. Like, most people look at this card and they're just like, wait, what? Like, nobody plays this card. 1 Parade, 3 Mansion, 1 Waboku, just because it's a very nice chainable card. Um, Especially if I have Parade on the field and my opponent attacks me directly, because it's not like House where that damage is halved. I will take all the damage. So it's nice to have that 1 Waboku. 1 Bottomless, because Bottomless is still a very good card, and I prefer over Compulse. I don't know why I didn't put this in my Troll Tricks build. 1 Needle Sealing, because I don't have a second copy. 2 Ghostrick out. 2 Panic, and 2 Night. I would take out a Ghostrick out for another Needle Sealing, but it's just me not having the card. For the extra deck, I have 3 Dullahan, the 1 Soul Marionetteer, which I don't use, 1 Succubus, because it's not like I can make 2 in this deck. I only have 3 level 2s, so I can only make 1 rank 2 play. Unless I use Dullahan's effect and add one of these back to the hand or something. So yeah, I don't focus too much on my rank 2 plays. The 1 Gachi Gachi, just because it's a rank 2 version of Zenmain's, basically. Those Zenmains, because Zenmain's good, and the 1 Shadow Lich. I don't have Alucard. Alucard's like a 20-something dollar card. And most people that I know value it much more. So, I don't really like Alucard's effect too much. Not to mention, like, normally when I make a rank 3 play, it involves Jiangshi and a Stein, and I'd rather just have Jiangshi on board and Stein getting me my searches if that were my choice. Um, for I have some feeble attempts at a side deck. 1 copy of Book of Moon, just because um, I had Swords of Concealing Light, or I had Book of Moon in here instead of Swords because I didn't even have any copies like in my entire box of cards. Um, but I did manage to get a copy from someone for free. He was just like, here, it's common, I don't care. Um, so he gave that to me, and I took it out, or I took Book of Moon out in favor of this. Uh, I had Ghostrick go around in the deck, but I took it out just because I don't use it often, and I don't really like it too much as a card. Um, and this was an interesting card that I picked up, Rebound. Um, basically, anything that returns cards back to my hand, I negate and discard something from my opponent's hand instead. Um, and then also, if this card is set like as a bluff, I get a free draw, which is really nice. Though if this gets hit by wiretap, I don't get that free draw. But if I get hit by seven tools, I'll get a draw off of it. So this sort of pushes my opponents to play wiretap. Actually, I should be playing wiretap in my side as well. Um, it's just I don't. I haven't decided because that the problem with me in a side deck is that um, in terms of cards that I would take out, normally depending on what type of deck I'm playing, I'll take out the bait dolls, I'll take out a terraforming, that sort of thing. It really depends. Um, like I played against mermails and they were just too fast. Like I didn't have enough plays. Um, like against like I couldn't draw into I drew into these late game when my opponent already filled their field and I couldn't do anything about it. Not to mention they just had all the answers. Like turn one, I had needle sealing in my hand and they went and randomly discarded it, and I was like, okay, I might as well just scoop because I had no follow up plays after that. Like needle sealing was going to be my play, and like my opponent saw that they hit needle sealing and they're like their face, they're just like, oh my god, I would have lost to that. Um, because I played because yeah, my opponent they just looked at me weirdly when I was playing. They're like, I don't understand the win condition for your deck, and I'm like, my deck doesn't have a general win condition. It's not mermails. You go push for the OTK and don't fear anything. But when he saw that he discarded needle sealing, he was like, holy shit! If I went for my play and you did that, that would have been game. Um, so yeah, like he made fun of my deck, but when he saw like the things that my deck could do, he got scared. Um, like the one scrap player that I played, I've never beaten him before. This was, of course, back when I was playing Sylvans. I played Gravekeepers against him. He always had all the answers to everything. He did not have answers to Ghostricks. His only answers were like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and I was like, nope, MSC. Like the ground collapse, I always had that against him in the duels. Ghostrick Knight always hurt him. Um, like he would try and like his best plays were the atomic, the scrap twin dragon, because that would put stuff back into my um, hand, but I never gave him the chance to go for it. Um, and if he did go for it, in the next game, I probably should have sided these in against him, but I didn't feel the need to. I ended up winning that game 2-0 without siding, but like yeah, I played but yeah, like this deck I got fourth. Yeah, like it wasn't. I almost placed third at locals, which I would have been so happy if I placed third. Um, this deck, so for me so far, has been doing a lot better than Sylvan's ever did, which is really saying something because this deck is far from incomplete. Um, but yeah, this deck will still lose to the top tier stuff like Mermails. Mermails are still a problem. Um, Hopefully, more copies of Swords will help out with that because I can draw into it more frequently. Like I didn't draw into that card once the entire tournament, which made me sad. Um, but yeah, I would be able to draw into that more. Um, like the more that I play the deck, the more that I eventually learn like what counters what and whatnot. But it's a process. I'm still learning. Probably beefing out my extra deck and maybe working on that rank 2 engine. Like somebody was like, oh, you're playing Ghostricks? You always go into Succubus. And I'm like, no, I tend more to go into Dolhan just because I play so many more rank 1s or level 1s. And I don't like that Succubus doesn't have the effects that Dolhan and Alucard do, where if they get destroyed, you get to add a Ghostrick to hand. Succubus doesn't have that effect. And like I said, if I make her, it generally involves using Doll. So when Doll gets flips, my Succubus at the end phase is going to go face down. So it's sort of a wasted card. I don't know. I haven't decided. Like, again, I still work in progress. There's definitely cards I can add to this, and definitely cards that I can take out. Like I think over time I'll eventually take out Parade, um, because there are times. Yeah, it's like it's nice that you get a free search for anything you want in your deck. Unlike Stein, where you can only search for spell and traps, and Jiangxi, where you can only search for monsters. Like Parade is nice because it lets you choose what you want, but at the same time, my opponent not being able to take any damage, that really, really hurts a lot. Um, like especially if I don't have house right away, because Parade just sort of sits there and yeah, sure I get searches, but at that point, I can take a lot of damage and not be able to turn the game around. Um, though on a side note, I would really love to see this as a playmat, because I really love the art for that for Ghostrick Parade. Um, but yeah, hope you all enjoyed. This has been my Ghostrick build, and hope you all enjoyed. Till next time.